my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a Morphe brushes haul. Da, 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 da. This is all of the brushes that I just bought at Morphe. As you can see, I have them all still wrapped up so that I can kind of do an unwrapping with you guys and show you guys what I picked up from Morphe brushes. I have been dying to get all of these brushes for so long, and the problem with Morphe is that they constantly are out of stock with brushes because they are getting so popular. So I snagged these ones while I could. There was still a few that I'm waiting to get, but these are a bunch of brushes that I got, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys the brushes. I'm going to tell you what the name of them are and what they're used for, and let's just get started. Alright you guys, so the first brush is this one right here. It is called the AS10 brush, and what it is used for, please excuse me, I'm going to read this sheet while I'm talking to you guys just so that I don't mess up what it's used for, but this is the AS10 brush. It's the Deluxe Foundation and Concealer brush. So it has two ends to it. This end is a bigger flat concealer brush, and this end is just a smaller one. So this could be used for many different things. Personally, this shape I use for under eye padding. The bigger one can just cover more area. I think what I'm going to use this brush for the most is concealing my under eye. So a lot of these brushes will say it's only used for concealer or for eyeshadow or for contouring or whatever, but you can really use these brushes to suit you and your needs. So don't you guys worry if you use this brush for like eyeshadow or something. I mean, I don't really recommend using this big of a brush for eyeshadow, but this end, go for it. If it works for you, then it works for you. But I'm going to tell you guys what Morphe says that they should be used for. So like I was saying, this is the AS10 brush. It's the concealer brush. It's duo. Has two different ends, so love this brush. So this little baby right here is G6. It is the flat buffer brush. This brush I would typically use for buffing and foundation. That is really, I think, its sole purpose. You can also probably use this to pat on powder if you want, but it is a very dense brush. So I think it would work really, really well to really buff in your foundation. So that's what I would use this little baby for. So this little baby is one of my favorite from Morphe. It is the G3 Tapered Contour Brush. And what they mean by tapered contour is kind of like an oval shape. You see that? It's not a round brush, it's oval. So it really can just get into contour. It's such a great size. It's not too big that it's overwhelming, and you can really just use this to buff in that contour. So perfect shape. So this baby is the MB8 brush. It is the small buffer brush. It is not too small, but it's also not really, really large. So this is a great buffer brush for buffing so many different products into your skin. And I just love the shape of it. It tapers from small to a large round head on it. It's just such a great brush. All of these buffer brushes are really meant for powder, foundation, concealer, buffing, those kind of products into your skin. However, if you want to use this to do something else, then go for it, but that is what all of the buffer brushes are intended for. This is the M439 brush. It is a little bit shorter. This is called the Deluxe Buffer. The thing that I love about this brush is that it's actually a little bit shorter than the rest if you want to compare it to this one. So this would make a great travel brush. This is just a larger buffer. Like I said, I'll compare it. It is a wider head on it, so it will cover more area. I would recommend this brush for mineral powder, buffing in powder to your face. It's definitely a great powder brush. You could also probably use it for foundation, but I'll probably reach for it more for powder. So this is a great brush for that. So this little guy, not so little, he's gigantic, is the S22 brush. It is the Jumbo Fluffy Powder Brush. This will help you to apply powder all over your face. It is so soft and it's just so big and fluffy. This is definitely going to be my go-to powder brush. It just covers so much space. I wouldn't use this necessarily for like a mineral foundation, like a powder foundation, just because it is so big and fluffy. I think that you might miss some small areas. If you're in a wicked hurry, then go for it, but for probably like mineral powder, I'd reach for this guy instead of this guy. See the difference? Now this guy is the S10 brush. This is their mineral powder brush. This is the brush that they say that you should use to apply mineral powder. And I can see why. It is very great. For powder, it's fluffy, but it is also really dense. However, like I said, I'd probably reach for this M4391 more for powder, just my opinion. This though, look at it. I showed you this guy and I said he was shorter. Look at this guy. He's even smaller compared to the other brushes. So this one, the S10, the one that's meant for mineral powder, would be great for travel. So I would throw this in my bag if I knew I was going to be going away on vacation and I just wanted to bring a mineral powder or something with me. This guy would be my go-to. Now this guy is the M405 brush. This is the contour blush brush. Blush, not brush. Blush brush. And this guy has to be probably the brush that I was the most excited to get. Just because I have had such a hard time finding a brush that is great for putting on blush. A lot of my brushes will tend to put on too much blush or too little or vice versa. I think that this one is going to be amazing. It's angled and it's just so soft and beautiful. Another purpose for this brush, the M405 brush, would be to apply highlight. If you just put it on the tip of this brush and you just dabbed it right along your cheekbones, this would be the perfect brush for highlighting as well. However, I think I'm mainly going to use it for blush. So this is an awesome little brush. Size comparison, I'm just going to compare it to the big fluffy brush. It is significantly smaller and it's also very angled, so you can see the difference. So this will be very precise while applying blush. This is the M459 brush. This is the 1 1/4 inch flat contour. Sorry, I had to look at my sheet because I forget the measurements, but it's 1 1/4 inch, which is not huge, and it's great because this is meant to contour. So what you can do is you can apply your contour onto this brush and you can really create a very, very straight line and very thin line, because as you can see, it is a very thin and very dense and hard brush. So this would get in there and it would really pack that product in a straight line. Another really, really great alternative for this is you can bake with this. So you can apply your contour the way you would typically do it and use this brush to dip it in your setting powder and then create a line underneath it with the powder and let it sit for a few minutes, brush it off, and you will have a straight line as well. So you could use this for either. This guy is the M461 brush. This brush is the Duo Crease brush. So this was the brush that I was a little bit throwing things. This is the brush that I was a little bit shocked by. It is huge, 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 huge. Bigger than, I don't even have it with me, but my Sigma large blending brush, this one is bigger. The bristles on the top are thinner. I know you guys can't really see, but when it gets white, it gets a little bit thinner from where the black is. So if you push it out, you can see that it's a little bit denser down where the black is, and it gets thinner and wispier up at the top. And it kind of tapers, not really into a point, but the middle pieces are longer than outside. So if you squeezed it together, it would kind of look like a paintbrush kind of thing. This, if you put it onto your eye, you can see like the comparison. This is a really, really, really large blending brush. So this would be good to blend everything together when you're not looking for really small details. This is this brush next to the blush brush. So you can see how big this brush actually is, but it is great if you want to cover a lot of territory in a short period of time. This guy is the M316 brush. It is the flat crease brush. This brush, I'm not sure if I will particularly use that often. It is very, very flat at the top. That's why it's called the flat crease. But this brush is very good for dabbing, a dabbing motion. It is very flat on the top. So you're going to have issues blending with this because it is very sharp and angled and it's very dense. This is the M162 brow, what is it called? The spoolie and brow comb. So one end is a spoolie and one is the brow comb. And what I love about this is I'm constantly looking, when I don't have my Anastasia products that so wonderfully come with a spoolie built in, I'm always looking for a spoolie just to kind of freshen up my brows, and this always comes in handy as well. So this is a great 2-in-1. So this little guy right here is the M250-0. This is the detail liner brush, and you probably can't even see the tip. It is so tiny, and this brush is so tiny and so precise. I love this brush. It is for very, very detailed eyeliner if you want to do a really thin line. I've been loving these brushes a lot lately, especially over my angled brushes. I don't know why, I just feel like these give me a little bit more control, and I can kind of do what I want with the line instead of playing with a angled liner brush. So this one gives you a little bit more room to do a different kind of shape with your eyeliner. So very cute, very little, and very good quality. So this brush is the MB27 brush. It is the detailed crease brush, and it is a very small tip. It comes to a point, and this will definitely get into your crease and provide that detail that a lot of the more fluffy eyeshadow brushes won't get you. So this is great for your crease. This guy is the M433. It is the Pro Firm Blending Fluff. It is definitely a very firm blending brush. So if you have those eyeshadows that are really, really hard to blend, this would be the brush that I would reach for. It's really going to get in there, and it being so firm is really going to blend those shadows together. This guy is the MB18 Round Crease Brush. This is the MB27, and this is the one I'm showing you guys now. You can kind of see this guy. I know it's not really in focus, but you can kind of see this guy is a little bit more fluffier. It is not as tapered at the top and thin as this guy. So this MB18 brush is meant for a round crease. So this is for getting in the crease as well, but covering a little bit more area than that other brush. This guy is the M408 brush. It's the Chisel Shader. This guy is long and skinny. He's very dense, very short. So what I would do is I would use this to pack color in the crease. Is really its main purpose. I would also use this to smudge out the lower lash line. So this guy is really, really good for packing in color into small areas such as the crease or underneath the eye. You could also use this brush to contour your nose. It's not super straight. It's kind of fluffy and round a little bit. It's still very dense and small, but you could definitely make a straight line with it and really buff out your contour. So another option for this little brush. This brush is the B75 Flat Liner Brush. This brush is great for either you could do eyeliner with this brush if you want to work with a straight square brush. This is also really, really, really great for contouring your nose. This will give you a straight contour every single time. So this is a very, very good option for that. But also what I love to use this brush for is for putting shadow on my under eye. It is thinner. Let's see, I'll compare it with this guy that I just showed you. It is thinner on the top slightly, and it's square. This one is rounded, this one is square. So they're about the same width, but they are used for different purposes. So this one is going to give you a very straight look. This guy is the B19 brush. It is the mini oval Talcon brush. This brush is actually meant, I think, for lips, if I'm correct. It's a really great brush to apply lipstick with or lip gloss with or whatnot. You could also use this brush as well for contouring your nose or small areas. You could use this for even if you wanted to just fill your brow with powder. It's small enough to do that. You could also use it if you want a really, really tiny brush for shadow, but it won't hold too much product just because of the size of it. But this is a really great brush, and it can be used very, very multi-use. This guy is the G13 Blending Fluff. This guy is very similar to the other blending fluff that I have here. Very, very similar to that. It's just another option for blending. This brush is really good to cover a larger area, but also provide a density that these giant brushes won't give you. So this one is going to provide that density and packing that color in while blending it. So really great. So this guy is the MB29 brush. It is the angle liner and spoolie brush. It is an angle liner on one end and a spoolie on the other. But look what just happened when I pulled it out of the box. It was broken. That's never happened to me with a Morphe product before. So I'm either going to return this back to them or I'll just super glue it. Super glue works for everything, but kind of upset about that Morphe, but what can you do? It was just one out of all of them, so never had a problem before. So this brush is great. You can use this for liner if you really want to, but what comes to mind for me with this brush is brows. Brow powder with the angled liner side, and then a spoolie to even it out. This little guy here is the B16 brush. It is the mini smudger. This guy is so cute and so little and so thin. This guy is great for smudging the crease, smudging the under eye, even smudging contour lines on your nose. You can also use this for your lips and applying lipstick. It is small and round and would be perfect for that. So this one is really cute and little. This is the M206 brush. It is the oval lip with a lid. This is great for throwing in your purse. If you're one of those girls that you don't like applying lip products with what it comes on, like your lipstick, you don't like using the actual lipstick to apply your lipstick or lip gloss or whatever, this is perfect. So you can just apply your lip product and then close it up and wash it when you get home and it doesn't get on anything in your purse. So great invention, Morphe. Alright you guys, so that's it for my Morphe haul. Those are all the brushes that I got. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I encourage each and every one of you to go online and do your research about these brushes because they all have multi-uses. I just wanted to focus on what they're actually meant for and what Morphe says that they're meant for. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all soon. Bye guys!